అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. నమో నమః. Today is another good day for all of us. And today is the third day of our series of lectures on Mahabharatam, traditional values and Sanatana Dharma in Mahabharatam by Dr. Karanam Nagaraja garu. So let us start the session with Vande Mataram and then Prarthana. Kala Chittibabu garu.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malaya Jasitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajyosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram. Vande Mataram.
వందే మాతరం. ధన్యవాదములండి కళా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Pantula Ravindra Sharma garu to start the chanting, please.
हरिः ओम सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. 1 minute meditation. Close your eyes gently. Concentrate on your exhale and inhale. Take a long breath for 1 minute. गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्त्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनुशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः. ओम प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रवतु. ओम श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः. गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यौ कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तः पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదములండి. చాలా చక్కగా ప్రార్థన చేశారు. ధన్యవాదములు. నౌ లెట్ us రిక్వెస్ట్ కరణం నాగరాజారావు గారు టు స్టార్ట్ ద వెబినార్ ప్లీజ్.
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Good morning to all of you. Today morning, again the third lecture on Mahabharata, as in the series of lectures on Mahabharata. Mahabharata, in fact, in 5 days, it can't be told also. It takes at least, because Veda took 3 years, but Veda and Ganapati took 3 years for completing the Mahabharata. And again, Ganguly, who translated it into English, just seeing the book and translating it to English, he took 12 years. Yes, 12 years he took it. And Bhandarkar Institute took almost 47 years to compile the Mahabharata edition. Like that, it is a so voluminous edition. So a lot of things are there in Mahabharata. But because of this reason, we can't touch upon all the subjects in Mahabharata in a stroke of say 4 or 5 lectures. So anyway, today I would like to tell you one very popular story which is known to everybody. But still, a lot of inner meaning is there in it, and normally many people would not venture into understanding that subject in that fashion. Maybe let us try to understand. Ultimately, I submit now itself that you may agree or disagree with me. That is also there. Why I am telling this particular episode today is basically lot of criticism is there over caste system and all these things in present days, and attributing it to Mahabharata times and Ramayana times also. So in order to dispel certain doubts, in order to dispel certain what is called cobwebs in the minds of some people, maybe, and maybe even many intellectuals also sometimes mistake this story. This is a story of Ekalavya. Ekalavya story is a very popular story. In the last 3 times also, this is the 4th, I think, batch of students. The 3 batches also I did not tell this story because I thought of telling this story today. because every time even organizers also should not feel boring. No, that is also there. Organizers also should entertain. That is also there. In that way, every time I will be introducing two new stories only. This time I am introducing the story of Ekalavya, which normally is being understood as caste oppression, and this many other things are also there, which I will be discussing in the story. Let us come to the story. And before that, we have to understand one thing, that Mahabharata is 1 lakh shlokas. That is one thing. Beyond 1 lakh shlokas, Veda Vyasa has written one more book called Harivamsam. Harivamsam is consisting of 25,000 shlokas. It is actually an appendum, what is called annexure to Mahabharata. Like that he has put it. Annexure to Mahabharata. Sometimes we will be writing the thesis, PhD thesis. At the time, what we will be doing is that when it is going bigger at the time, we will be adding annexures. Annexure will be at the end of the thesis. Here also Mahabharata, also Veda Vyasa has written an annexure. Annexure is consisting of again 25,000 shlokas, wherein some doubts in Mahabharata are cleared there. So here he has mentioned one thing. One thing is that Pruthukirti Prutha Cheva Shrutadeva Shrutashrava Rajadi Devi Chakada Panchayate Veeramataraha. These are the 5 Veeramatas. Veeramatas. Who are those persons? Pruthukirti, Prutha, Shrutadeva, Shrutashrava, Rajadi Devi. These are the 5 Veeramataras he has mentioned in Harivamsha. This is a part and parcel of Mahabharata only. That is why only I am discussing this these names. Why these people are important? Because these 5 persons we have to understand for the understanding the story of Ekalavya. Here, who is Ekalavya? The basic thing is that in Mahabharata, main Mahabharata text, or in films, whatever we see, we will be seeing the Ekalavya as a Boya caste person, Nishada Vamsha. He will be coming there and he will be asking Drona. This is of course the story. But what is his background? Background is that he is nothing but for Krishna and Pandavas. What is the relation is there? Same relation is there with Pandavas and Ekalavya also. And how thing is that here there is one great ruler by name Shura in Yadava dynasty. Shura. Shurudu. Shura was having one son. His son was named Vasudeva. Vasudeva, everybody knows. Vasudeva is the father of Vasudeva. That is Krishna's father. Is Vasudeva. Vasudeva was having 5 sisters. Who are those five sisters? The 5 sisters are, number 1 is Pruthukirti. Pruthukirti's son is Dantavaktra. So Dantavaktra we know. Dantavaktra and Shishupala are the 2 persons who were an earlier birth in their earlier births. They were Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and the previous birth they were Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha. And prior to that, they are Jaya, Vijaya in the court of Lord Vishnu. So we know the story. This the Dantavaktra is what is called son of Pruthukirti. That is called Vasudeva's one sister. Shrutadeva's son is Ekalavya. And Shrutashrava's son is Shishupala. Shrutashrava's son is Shishupala. And Prutha, like this Prutha is also called Kunti. Kunti is for her sons are Pandavas. And then the 5th one is Rajadi Devi, one lady is there. For her, there are Vinda Anuvinda, like that. These are the 5 people. So how he is related? He is actually not a Nishada Vamsha, but it goes on telling that this is Ekalavya. He is a son of that is called a maternal aunt of Pandavas or Sri Krishna only, maternal aunt, because Sri Krishna's father's daughter, sisters. So Prutha is also like that. That is where Krishna will be very much liking Kunti. Similarly, he also likes all these persons. But thing is that because for all these persons, Dantavaktra and also Shishupala, these 2 persons were born to 2 different ladies. Both were killed by Sri Krishna only. Ekalavya is also killed by Sri Krishna only at the end of, before the Mahabharata war starts. And Rajadi Devi's sons Vinda and Vindas are also killed by Sri Krishna only. All these maternal aunts' sons are killed by Sri Krishna, except this Pandavas. So this is the irony of the story. So this also we have to understand, because in order to understand Ekalavya story, this is also we have to understand. And subsequently what happens is that this Ekalavya, when he was born, when he was born, there were a lot of bad omens took place. When lot of Kekaya Raja's son, he was Kekaya Raja's son, and a lot of bad omens took place. When a lot of bad omens took place, and they thought that this boy should be discarded at the time of birth only, because many persons, ministers and all the persons came and advised that this boy should not be kept here. This boy we leave it him like that. He was left in the forest, and then he was picked by one person, by one Nishada person, Hiranyadhanya. That Hiranyadhanya, he is a Nishada. That is called, by nature he was a hunting caste person. Hunting is his nature. So he brought him up. And he became Ekalavya. That is, of course, that is like that. So here the background of Ekalavya is like that, which Krishna was also knowing it, and many other persons also were knowing. We don't know, because in Mahabharata nowhere it is mentioned that Ekalavya's birth and all these things are known to Pandavas, are known to other persons. We don't know. But thing is that here one thing we have to understand is that when Dharmaraja performed Rajasuya Yaga, at the time there is one discussion. The discussion is that Shishupala will be challenging the authority of Sri Krishna. Many persons know the story. Sri Krishna was given the Agra Puja. Agra Puja means at the end of the Rajasuya Yaga, one great person of that age at that prevalent time, that person should be given an Agra Puja, and he should be made to sit in the higher seat of place, and he should be respected, he should be venerated, and puja has to be done to him like that. Krishna Dharmaraja asked Bhishma, please suggest the person whom I should give this Agra Puja like that. Then Bhishma suggests, who else is there, Dharmaraja? You know and I know and everybody knows in the world that Krishna is the greatest person. Beyond Krishna, who is there? He is the Sakshat incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And then he discusses the 10 avatars of Krishna, and all this is also there in Mahabharata. When everything was unwell, this Dharmaraja wanted to give the Agra Puja. When he wanted to give this Agra Puja, there is one objection from one side. The objection is from Shishupala. Shishupala gets up and he was very angry, and he was challenging the authority of Bhishma. And then he was, in his discussion, he was telling that Krishna is greater than Dronacharya, Guru. Krishnacharya is elder than Bhishma. Bhishma is elder in age, and Bhishma is the more dharmic person. Is he elder? Is he greater than Duryodhana? Like that, he was asking so many kings. He was comparing with the Dharma, the Krishna, and he was denigrating Krishna. At the time, he was also telling that, do you feel that he is greater than Ekalavya? That he tells, which means that Ekalavya was existing till at the point of Kurukshetra, where he was there. That is one incident we come across. And Ekalavya incident also we come across in some other place. Where we come across in Ekalavya's place is that because this Ekalavya story is scattered in different places in Mahabharata and also in Harivamsa. So Ekalavya is actually, after this Astra Vidya and all this is after this known story, he goes to Jarasandha, a known enemy of Sri Krishna. Why Jarasandha was a known enemy? Jarasandha's son-in-law Kamsa was killed by Sri Krishna. Because of this reason, Jarasandha was very angry with Krishna. And Ekalavya went to Jarasandha, and because he is Senadipati, he becomes the warrior-in-chief of that Jarasandha. When he becomes the warrior-in-chief of Jarasandha, Jarasandha dispatched him and all the soldiers to capture Madura. So many times Ekalavya and the troops of Jarasandha went there and destroyed Madura and other regions. At one occasion, because a lot of disturbance is there all the time, on one occasion when Krishna was not there, Krishna and Balrama were not there in the Madura Nagara. At that time, this man, Ekalavya, invades there and he wanted to destroy the Dwaraka, and he went inside, and where is Krishna? I wanted to kill him. Where is Balaram? I want to kill him. Like that, he made Simhanadas and all this and destroyed a lot of buildings and everything. A lot of destruction also took place. Krishna comes back, of course, and again he wanted to leave the place only, and he went to the Dwaraka. That is a story, we know it. But still, here he is Ekalavya. That Ekalavya, what is the story of Ekalavya? For understanding the story of Ekalavya in a broader perspective, we have to go back to Drona's background also. We have to go back. And why Drona's story I am telling, at the end of the story I will be telling why Drona's story has to be told for understanding Ekalavya's story. Drona, everybody knows, he is the son of Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja is again the incarnation of what is called Bharadwaja is the son of Brihaspati. Dronacharya is the Amsha of Brihaspati. That is what is mentioned in Mahabharata Adi Parva. We are having Amshavatarana is there in Mahabharata. In the Amshavatarana, we come across different persons who are born on this earth, and what is the incarnation? Whether he belongs to Rakshasagana or whether he is belong to Devata Ganas. And there is one more story is there why these people are born in the earth, and that is some other story which I am not discussing here. And anyway, like that. Say Dharma Devata is there, Dharma Raja is the incarnation. Indra is there, Arjuna is the incarnation. Bhima is there, Vayudeva's incarnation. Like that, Duryodhana is there, Kalipurusha's incarnation. Like that, this man Ekalavya is actually he is the incarnation of a Krodha Vashagana Rakshasas. One clan is there, Krodha Vashagana Rakshasas are there. This Rakshasa representing this Rakshasa, he was born upon this earth. Ekalavya was born like that. Dronacharya was the incarnation of Brihaspati. He was what is called Guru of Devatas. He was born upon this earth. This is also the background. And now let us come to Drona. Drona he was the son of Bharadwaja. He was a boyhood friend of Drupada. But also we know who later became the king of Panchala. And both Drupada and Drona were learning the art of warfare when they were in the childhood in the ashram of Agnivesha. There is one Muni or Rishi who may call that is Agnivesha. After completing this education in the ashram, Drona continued his pursuit of education with the Parashurama also. He went there. Parashurama also he learned because this man, the Drupada comes out and he becomes the king of Panchala. But Dronacharya was not satisfied with whatever he has learned with Agnivesha. He went again to Parashurama. And in those days, you believe it or not, in Mahabharata, throughout Mahabharata, we come across many stories wherein many persons, majority of the persons initially, the destination is like that great university. What is the greatest university for management studies? IIM Ahmedabad, like that. Everybody will try to go that. Other Harvard University, something of that nature. Here also same thing. Everybody in that contemporary period, everybody wanted to go to Dronacharya and wanted to learn first. And that is once they complete the entire course, and there are some people who are not satisfied there, they will be going again to Parashurama. So Dronacharya himself went to the Parashurama and he got a lot of astras, shastras and all this, and he came back. The thing is that when these two persons were actually very great friends in the boyhood days, it so happened that the Dronacharya, this Drupada used to like Dronacharya like anything, and he was always telling that Drona, believe it or not, once I become the king of Panchala, all my kingdom, wealth, pleasure, everything will be at your disposal only. You are such a great friend for me. Like that, he was always telling, like that. And now this is one aspect. When Dronacharya comes back, he comes back, and what happened is that he married Krupi, one lady is there, that is Krupacharya's sister, he married. And then for him, Ashwatthama was born. When Ashwatthama was born, Dronacharya was a master of archery, but he was a very poor person. Even he could not afford to give milk to his son. That story also we know. Then what he was doing is that he was mixing the rice powder with water and he was giving it to Ashwatthama, stating that this is milk. Ashwatthama was drinking it and he was proudly announcing before the other children that it is a milk. Other people were laughing at him, this is not milk, this is something, some other thing. Then he went and complained with Dronacharya. Dronacharya also felt very bad because he was such a poor state that he could not afford to give milk also to his son. Then he went to Drupada. And Drupada actually what he treated that friendship is only between equals only, not other persons. And anything, this type of things, friendship or war or anything can be only between equals. You are a poor Brahmin, I am a king. And who are you? Only I have forgotten you also. Nowhere. Even if you believe that I am your friend, stay for one day here and I will give you food and take the food and go away like that. That much insult he has given. When he has given that insult, Drona felt very bad. But Drona was greater in archery. He could defeat Drupada also. But Drupada was having a large army he was having. How to kill Drupada? He cannot invade the Drupada. If he can invade Panchala Desha and wanted to defeat Drupada, he should have the army. Army also should be there. Otherwise, he alone cannot conquer the Drupada.
So what is the way out? Because he is having the mastery in archery, but he is not having even a single army. He was not having. He is such a poor person that he could not give milk to the son. And how can he afford to maintain such a great army? That was a big question. Then he thought and like that, and he wanted that he should go to a king only, where those persons, the king also should be a very great person who could command large number of army persons, and with their help only he wanted to defeat Drupada. So the only place he could envisage at that point of time was Hastinapura. So directly he came to Hastinapura. He wanted to meet Bhishma, but instead of meeting Bhishma, he was wandering here and there in Hastinapura for some days. This is all there in Adi Parva Mahabharata. It is there. When he was wandering like that, on one occasion he was sitting at one place. This children Pandavas were actually playing on that day, and everybody knows that the ball went inside the well, and they could not take it out. All the people were looking at it, and they could not extricate the ball out of the well. When they could not extricate the ball out of the well, they were looking at different sides, and there one frail Brahmin Desa, he was there sitting in one place. He was black in color. And there he was sitting there, and they approached him and they told, we are playing this ball has fell into the well, unable to, we could not get it. Then he laughed at them. You are princely kings, princess, and you could not know how to do it. Let me do it like that. And then what he did was that he put his ring also, ring also, he threw it into the well. And with the dexterity of archery, what he did was that he could pick up both the things very easily. The boys were awestruck by his skill of archery. They rushed to the grandfather Bhishma and narrated the entire story. Bhishma came in person to that place because at those days, this is also what we can call the strategy of recruitment. No, nowadays people will be saying the great scholarship of people will be there sometimes. One more scholar, what they do, nowadays, because most of the places will be saying, when we see in the universities and other places, what we say is that if a great scholar approaches a dean or somebody, please recruit me like that. He will see if he is greater than dean, he will not recruit because he may be a threat for him. That is how most of the places will be seeing those type of persons. If we go there one place and asking for some job, something of that nature, the person see whether you are inferior or superior. If you are superior, he will not take you also because even though you are superior. Bhishma is not like that. That was a great what we can call Bhishma. Maybe equal to the strength of Bhishma he may be having. Still, he appreciated Drona, recognized Drona. He came there and he invited him. Why don't you become my courtier? Why don't I am going to give you a great honor. I am going to make you the guru of this all 105 people. Why don't you come here and teach all these persons like that? He requested, and he gave him a great palace. He gave him, because at the time Bhishma was actually a de facto ruler of that Hastinapura. And de facto ruler, because at the time there was no king. King was no there means Dhritarashtra was there. Dhritarashtra was not the king at all, because in Mahabharata we come across that is also again a lot of disputes are there. The Panduraja crowning is there in Mahabharata. Panduraja was crowned and he became the king of Hastinapura. And because he used to respect his brothers in such a fashion that he did not want to sit on the throne as long as his brother is there, elder brother is there. So he wanted to evade Hastinapura. All the time he used to be in the forest, leaving the throne to that is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was not the king, but still his name itself is Dhritarashtra, holding the Rashtra tight. So what he was doing is that he used to come there and he used to sit in the what is called royal chair, royal Simhasana he used to sit. But ruling is done by Pandu Maharaj. From some other place he was ruling. But he was never coming here and sitting here. That was the problem here. Thing is that when that was the situation, and he was running the show from there only. When Panduraja suddenly died, what happened? No, all little Pandavas were brought to Hastinapura. And then who is the king? Because normally if Kunti, Panduraja, Kunti, everybody had to be there at that time. Dharmaraja, even though he is a minor at that time, he would have become the king, and Bhishma is officiating a de facto king, something of that nature. But here, the situation did not happen. Dhritarashtra was sitting there, and Dharmaraja was also such a generous person that he did not want to challenge the authority of Dhritarashtra. So he was also keeping quiet. So here Bhishma was taking care of entire thing. This was the situation. Bhishma appointed him as Guru. He became the Guru. He became the guru, and what is his objective here? We have to understand the objective of Dronacharya when he came there. The objective is that he was having what is called some sort of he has to punish the Drupada because he has insulted him, because he was actually a friend. He relied upon the Drupada that he is going to be my good friend, because Drupada was always telling that my wealth, everything is at your disposal. But now he has deceived him. So he wanted to challenge him. So in order to challenge him only, he came here. Otherwise, he would have spent his days in some other place only. That is his, it is called one of the objectives. So when he came there and then when he was teaching, in the initial stage itself, on one occasion, he called all the Pandavas, all the Kauravas, because all the 105 Shishyas. Then he told, I am going to teach you everything, Dhanurveda, everything I will be teaching you. But I am having one objective. And the objective is a very difficult objective. At the end of the my what is called entire Vidyabhyasa, you have to redeem that one. Can you do it? Who will do it? Then all the Kauravas, Adiparva it is mentioned, all the Kauravas kept quiet. All the Pandavas kept quiet, except Arjuna. Arjuna got up and told, Guruji, it is I am going to do your deed. I am your Sisha. Think that I am your Sisha. I am going to do your deed. Whatever may be the difficulty, even at the cost of my life, I am going to do that work. And Drupada was very happy. He took Arjuna and he was and he wanted to give most of he pledged, and then he pledged, and then they took Arjuna and he kissed him on his head and started teaching all the Veda to everybody, of course. When he was teaching to everybody, he wanted to test again whether the Arjuna has come here and he was showing all this, what is called, he has determination to keep up his word, but still he wanted to check, and he gave so many small parishas, that is called examinations he has given to all those persons. That is, everybody knows it. Showing the bird in the tree, and are you saying that eyes? This we know the story. No, this is the thing. Then he was asking these two persons, all the persons, go fetch water for me from the Ganges, like that. And he used to give small kamandalas to everybody. And for Ashwatthama, he was giving a big pot. And Arjuna observed this. What he did was that everybody was going, all the Duryodhana, all other Pandavas were running there and bringing the all kamandalas in small quantities only. And Ashwatthama was bringing in big part, he was bringing. But what this Arjuna was doing is that he was invoking Pashupatastra and Varunastra, and he was producing water there only. So these are all the things he has cited. In all the tests which he has given, that is called eating archery in the night, eating food in the night when lights were not there. These stories we know, no? So I am not elaborating all these things. So with that, all the tests, he was very much pleased that Arjuna was having the skill. At the same time, he was also having the capacity to redeem his pledge. So he gave one promise. The promise is a big promise. That is very important promise. He pledged that he would make Arjuna an unbeatable warrior in archery in all the words. Among his Shishyas, that is more important. Among his Shishyas, Arjuna will be the unbeatable warrior, because Dronacharya will not be having any control over other persons. Because other person, some other place, maybe some other, the guru may be there, but greater than Dronacharya. Dronacharya didn't know. That person must have given some other knowledge to some other person. Maybe he may be greater than Arjuna, but he was not assuring that one. What he was assuring is that among my students, Arjuna is going to be the unbeatable warrior in archery. Like that, he promised to Arjuna. That was a promise. Satya Vachana, he has to stand up for that word. That is one thing. And learning all the training skills of Drona, and then training skills were it was spread. The news of the great archery that has been imparted to students was known to everybody at that time. So many persons came there at that point of time. Andhakas came there, Vrishti clan people came, Yadavas came, and Karna came there. And for that also I will be telling shloka also I will be telling, because I have to see the book. I have not read that shloka. 1 minute I will take. Is it one? कृष्णयश्च अंधकाश्चैव नानादेश्याश्च पार्थिवाः सूतपुत्रश्च राधेयः गुरुं द्रोणमियात् तदा. Like that it is mentioned. It is Adi Parva, 131 chapter. Shloka number is 11, please. If anybody wants to refer it, you can refer it. Krishnayascha andhakaschaiva nanadesyascha parthivaha sutaputrascha radheyaha gurum dronamiyat tada. All these persons. Andaka Vamsha people, Sutaputra Radeya, all these persons also came there. All these persons approached Drona and wanted that you teach us. Then he taught all those persons. Then Drushtadimna came. Who is Drushtadimna? That also we have to understand. Drushtadimna is the person who is born for the purpose of killing of Dronacharya. Drushtadimna comes there and he will also be asking, because it is a guru and I am a shishya, like that only I am coming. Where I am going to kill you, that is a different aspect. I am coming you as approaching you for understanding this Dhanurveda. Dronacharya thought for a while and thought, this person was born to kill me only. But that is destined, already it is destined. Anyway, I am going to be killed by him. Why I should not deny education for him? He was such a generous person, he asked him to come here and then he taught him also. Sutaputra he taught, Andaka Vamsa people he has taught, and Vrishti Vamsa people he has taught. And who are these persons? You have to understand, please, all this is just like that. If I am telling this, all these persons are now BCs according to present day situation. OBC are BCs. Pushtika, Antaka, these persons in UP, they are what is called the BCs and OBCs. And here and Radheya we know, Karna is Sutaputra. According to, because he is not a really Sutaputra, but known people at that point of time, everybody knew him as Sutaputra only, and he was a Sutaputra. All these persons he taught. One day, it so happened that Ekalavya, born to Nishada, he came, born to Nishada in the sense, brought up by Nishada, but everybody, majority of the persons knew that he was Nishada only, because at very childhood, at the stage of very small age only, he was discarded in the forest. Many persons must not be knowing, or knowing, we don't know from the Mahabharata. So anyway, he was known as Nishada Putra. So he came there. Nishada means who is Nishada? Present situation is in ST category. Maybe he approached Drona seeking knowledge. Drona did not take him as a disciple. And he told one thing. Since you are a Nishada, since he was a Nishada, this is only it is mentioned. Since he was a Nishada, he did not apply that Ekalavya's request. And Drona's concentration is only on Kauravas and Pandavas, because he is actually an employee for this this is called court of Bhishma, and so he has to concentrate on Kauravas and Pandavas. He told that he did not tell anything because he was Nishada. He did not apply Ekalavya's request. To that extent only it is written down in Mahabharata. That means he told you go away like that. Maybe he must have told I don't want to tell you like that. Ekalavya was not disheartened. He went out. His devotion to his Drona was total and complete. So he put the statue of Drona in the forest, treated him as his guru, and started archery on his own with all perseverance and dedication. So in no time, he became an expert in archery. He could understand archery. So he was doing very good work. He was doing in archery and all these things. And one day, it so happened that Pandavas wanted to go to then it part and parcel of education only. Drona used to give education to Pandavas in different fields in Hastinapura, and also people tell that it is not Hastinapura is not the place where this archery was taught to Pandavas and Kauravas. It is Dehradun, present day Dehradun. That is why only it is Dronapuram, and now it is Dronapuram has become Dehradun. People tell like that. Anyway, that he was teaching there, but somehow he used to take Pandavas and Kauravas outside also, because inside fighting and everything is fine, but how to fight in the fields, how to fight in the forests where there are so many animals are there, the other things are there, how to fight, that also he has to show. So he used to take them also. On one occasion he told, you go there and come back like that. All these Pandavas and Kauravas together, all 105 persons, they went there to forest. They also took what is called a race, what is called dogs, because dogs should be there. They will be escorting all these persons. The dogs will be going front and they will be chasing the deer and other things, and then these persons will be putting the arrows and they used to kill. And this is a normal practice. No, they took one dogs also. One dog somehow missed from the entire dog squad, and it went on roaming like that. It was going like that. When it was going like that, he saw one black man doing some place. He was sitting something like that. He is Ekalavya. It went there and he started barking at him. When he started barking at him, Ekalavya, what he did, no, he took out his bow, put arrows, aimed arrows, and put 7 arrows to its mouth in such a fashion that the total mouth got shut. That was the skill of archery he was having. And the skill of the dog came out because it was actually 7 arrows striking at the mouth of a dog. Imagine what will happen. The dog could not bark also. It came back and running like that. And all Pandavas and Kauravas observed. They thought this is must be there is some person who is great in archery. Who is that person they wanted to see? And they wanted to search. They searched the entire forest and ultimately they found one place. This person was there. They asked, "Who are you?" like that. He told. He was not actually. He was not hiding anything. He told, "I am Nishadaputra," because these people knew him earlier. But thing is that because he came to Dronacharya, everything is there. But because his but dress and everything was very dirty, and he was also very black person at the black, and also he was they could not recognize him, and they asked, "Who are you?" like that. Then he told, "I am Hiranyadanyu's son, Shada's son, Ekalavya. I am a little disciple of Dronacharya," he told. And then they came out. That was how it is written down in Adi Parva. They came out maybe after 2 or 3 days. One day, Arjuna met his Guru Dronacharya, and he told him, "Acharya, I wanted to ask you one question. I have a query with you." "What is the query?" he asked. He said, "You had promised me that there will not be any person in the world as a whole among your Shishyas who can surpass me in archery. Now I have seen one person, Ekalavya. He is also your disciple. He has surpassed me in many aspects. How can it happen?" Only this much he asked. When he asked like that, Drona thought for a while because he wanted to keep his promise. Satyavachana is there because he promised that Arjuna is going to be his greatest disciple at any part of time among his Shishyas. So he thought for a while and immediately he proceeded towards the abode of Ekalavya with Arjuna. And Ekalavya saw Drona and from a distance and came running towards him. He made him sit in one place, elegant place, and maybe at that time elegant place, maybe one bark of a tree, maybe something of that nature. He bowed before him, put his head over his feet, and stood before him, arm folded. Then he asked, "Guruji, what do you expect from me? You have come to this place. I am blessed," like that. Then Dronacharya talks him only one sentence only that is there in Mahabharata. The one sentence that he talks is that Yadi Shishyoshi me vira vetanam diyatam mama. This is a word, this is a sentence he uses. Nothing else, please. Do you, what are you aware from background? Nothing is there. Because he knew the history of Ekalavya. Because it was narrated by Kauravas or Pandavas only, they narrated because there is one archer is there. That archer has put 5-7 arrows in the mouth of a dog. And his archery skill is great. All this description he knew already. Now Arjuna has come and told that he is greater than Ekalavya is archery is greater than Arjuna. So you promise like that you would be I will be going to be your greatest disciple. This all this aspect he knew. So he came there. He asked only one sentence: "Yadi shishyosi me vira vetanam diyatam mama." What do you mean that? You mean that if you are my disciple, shishyosi, if you are my disciple, you have to give me Guru Dakshina. Then he told, he humbly told, "Swamiji, you are my Guru, and it is my duty to give you Guru Dakshina. What is the Guru Dakshina you expect?" Drona asked immediately, "Your right hand you can give, right hand thumb you can give me. That is good for me." Immediately, without any hesitation, without any what is called anger on his face or nothing else, without any hesitation, Ekalavya took out a knife, something of that nature. He cut off his thumb and gave it to Dronacharya. Dronacharya took it and he told, "Shishya, here afterwards, your archery may not be so great because this thumb is very, very much important for you. But thing is that here, I will show you some other way how to handle the bow and arrow. Do like that." Then he demonstrated it to Ekalavya, and then Ekalavya, okay, he told, and then Dronacharya and Arjuna left. Drona felt very happy for the truthfulness of Ekalavya and suggested him to practice archery in with the center and the index fingers. What happened ultimately was that his dexterity in aiming got diminished. That is, of course, it is there. That is the story, please. From this, what are the points that are there? This is more important because the Ekalavya story of studying the story, there are the questions normally being asked are 4 or 5 questions people will be asking all the time. Maybe now if I leave the audience like that, you will also asking the same questions. Anyway, I'll conclude my lecture and then I'll be giving time for you to contemplate. So here the questions normally being asked is that the Dronacharya never taught Ekalavya. When he never taught Ekalavya, what is the authority he is having to ask Guru Dakshina? One thing, no? Because if any subsequently while answering, if I miss anything, you can ask me also. So this is one thing, because he never taught. Second aspect is that Dronacharya, because he came, Ekalavya came to him. When Ekalavya came, him approached. Because he happens to be a lower caste person, Dronacharya refused to give education to Ekalavya. This is one more argument. Third thing is that Dronacharya is actually a Brahmin. He wanted to suppress these lower caste people. He wanted to. He did not having that generosity. And what else is there? What questions are there? And the Arjuna was having jealousy towards Ekalavya, and because of this reason, Arjuna actually motivated Dronacharya to go there. And when he went there, as per films and all these things, particularly I have seen only Telugu films, Adavaramudu, or what we can call it, Danavira Surukarna, these type of films. If we go, Drona and Arjuna both will go there to Ekalavya, and Drona will be asking Guru Darshana. And then when I asked the Guru Darshana, he looks at Arjuna. Arjuna says like this, thumb he will be showing. Then Dronacharya will be asking. But it is instigated by Arjuna like that. These are some of the questions that we come across in this story. And then one more thing is that if he feels that Ekalavya is greater than Arjuna, then he could have given more astras and more knowledge to Arjuna, and why he should denigrate the Shastrabhyasa of or the Astra Vidya of Ekalavya. That is one more question, please. Because if at all Dronacharya felt that Ekalavya is greater than his own Shishyas, then what he could have done? He could have given more knowledge. He could have imparted more knowledge to Arjuna. Instead of that, he wanted to reduce the knowledge of Ekalavya. Why he did it? The basic question is that when he was not a guru at all, why he did it? These are the questions, please. These are the questions I would like to answer these questions in my own way. This here thing is that number one question is Dronacharya is never a teacher. He was never a teacher. He never taught him. He never taught him, and then he was asking Guru Darshana. This is one thing. Let us understand the story from my what I understood. Suppose assume that there is one person who wanted to get admission into a university. He wanted to get admission into a university because of some reason. The university say that I don't want to take you. Then the man comes out. On his own, he learns the art of the entire knowledge, maybe medicine. He learned it. After learning the entire thing, he started practicing medicine also. When he started practicing the medicine, whoever is coming and asking, he is an expert in medicine also maybe. After some days, what happens is that somebody will be coming and asking which place you have studied from. Them say maybe SV University or some university you was studying. After some time, what happened is that by virtue of his doing some operations or whatever it may be, if he is going to do some harm to the society, or if he is going to inject something which is not to be injected out of his lack of knowledge, then who will be blamed? The university will be blamed. The university which has given the certificate is to be blamed. Normally what universities and other people will be doing, somebody is telling that he is a quack, somebody is telling, and invoking the authority of some university, that is, I am there, I have studied there. You are maybe sometime you are giving bad repute to the university also if something is going wrong. The university what normally will do, whether you are going to do good, bad, whatever it may be, it will come and seize your certificate. That is normally any university will take action against you also. Dronacharya is name he is invoking here. Ekalavya is invoking the name of the Dronacharya all the time, stating that I am the Shishya of Dronacharya. Dronacharya has come and he was asking one thing. Yadi Shishyo, if you feel that I am your guru, then if you feel that you are my Shishya, then Vetanam Diyata Mama, you should give me the Guru Darshana. He could have told that you are not my guru. There ends the matter. Because if what will happen at the time? Dronacharya's Satya Vachana Vrata will not be destroyed there. So he has given a promise to Arjuna that he is going to keep up his word. Arjuna is going to be the greatest disciple among his Shishyas. Ekalavya is claiming that he is his Shishya. Ekalavya says that he is not his Shishya. No dispute at all. Arjuna Dronacharya has no problem at all. He would have gone out. But he is claiming that you are my Shishya. There are two issues are there for Dronacharya. One is that his Satyavrata will be getting destroyed here. Second thing is that he is invoking his name and he is doing some, maybe he may be doing some bad thing if he is going to do, and everybody says that his Drona Shishya has done like this. Both are there for Dronacharya. Both Dharma Sankatas are there for him. One Dharma Sankata is that Arjuna promise he is not keeping. Second thing is that if something is going to happen out of the archery of Ekalavya, and he is getting the bad name. So what he did, he wanted to take out the Vidya from Ekalavya and he asked the thumb of that particular gentleman. So Ekalavya had given it. This is one way of argument. Second thing is that Dronacharya has seen the background of Ekalavya now, because it was told by Kauravas and Pandavas to Dronacharya, stating that this person is a person who aimed 7 arrows at a dog's mouth. It struck the mouth of the dog and dog could not bark. That was the situation. And what is his tendency? If you take the tendency of the person, tendency means a sattva, rajas, tamoguna, if you take into consideration, from where he has to be put? He has to be put at tamoguna only. Thing is that here, suppose a poor animal is coming there and barking at you. What you are supposed to do? You have to hiss at it and you have to send it out. This means there is a popular story in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's story. If time is there, I will tell the small story. I will tell. Any time is there, I will tell you. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to tell one small story, please. The small story, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it is there. He used to tell. There was a saint. The saint, on one occasion, he was traveling in a forest. When he was going in a forest, all the villagers came there and told him, Manbhava, what you have to do is that you don't go in the forest. If you go there in the forest, there is a bit, when a very venomous snake is there. The snake bites everybody. Whether you are doing harm or not doing harm, it will bite you. Don't go there like that. Many people are killed like this. Don't go like that. But he wanted to save the people ultimately. So I know, no problem. He went there. The snake came and has bitten him. Nothing has happened to the saint because he was having such powers. Then the snake told him, Swamiji, you are a great person. And all these days I was killing so many persons. Then the saint told, why are you killing all these persons? You should not kill like that. If you are attracting papam, sin you will be attracting, don't do like that. Then he told, the year afterwards I promise you that I will not do. Then should I know what should I do? It asked. Then he told, don't bite any person. He tells, it agrees, I will not bite any person. This is my promise. And then he went out and it was not biting from the downwards. The saint also told him, from now onwards it will not bite. You go in the forest, no problem. Everybody was going in the forest and it was not biting. It was simply sitting quiet only. Slowly, what happened is that all the villagers used to come to nearer to that place. Even then it was not biting. After some days, what happened? No, it was not biting. No, some people used to touch it. It was not biting. It was keeping quiet only. It was going on its own way. And after some days, people started taking its tail and used to swing it and throw it. And people's habit is like that. Now, when you are not doing any harm, it will be doing like that. They were doing like that. Then ultimately what happened is that it got fear from the villagers. So it went inside the hole all the time. While coming for food also, it was not coming out. If it comes out, people will catch hold of it and they will take hold of the tail and throw it in the street. All this is what happening. So it was not coming. It became very lean and weak also. Maybe after 6 months, the saint again came there and he started asking the snake, come out, after I want to see you like that. It came out earlier, it was very healthy, hale and healthy. Now it is so frail, thin and all these things. Then he asked, what happened to you? Then he will tell, no, sir, Swamiji, you told me, you ordered me that I should not bite. I was not biting. I adhered to the truth. I wanted to keep up my word. But people are doing this nasty things they are doing, so I am afraid of coming out. I am here. Then the Swamiji told one thing. I asked you not to bite, but I did not ask you not to hiss. You have to hiss at the people. Otherwise, people will be doing you bad things only. So this is the story why I am telling is that Ekalavya, what he could have done, when the dog is coming and prowling upon him, he could have hissed. He could have hissed means he could have put one arrow at it to scare it away. But what he did, he was a trigger friendly person. Trigger friendly person means he wanted to show what is called, he wanted whatever he has learned, he has to practice it over an alpa prani. Here, alpa prani, you are not supposed to put so many weapons, please. Alpa prani, you should just, that is why only archery, whom archery is taught? Archery is taught only to those persons who are having Sama, Dhamma, Indriya, Nigraha, Titiksha, all these guna should be there, please. That is also a prior quality. Archery cannot be given to each and every person. You should not give archery to each and every person. Because if that is given, what will happen? If that is given, everybody will be going there in the streets and will be displaying their talent and will be killing so many persons. Like USA and other places, people will be coming and shooting with their guns. That is the tendency. But here, why you believe it or not, Brahma Shiro Namaka Astra, one Astra is there. That Astra has to be given. At the end of maybe all this Dhanurvidya, Dronacharya calls Arjuna alone and he gives the Brahmasiro Namaka Astra and tells that this is Astra I don't give to anybody's person. Because I have not given so far to any person and don't give it to any person hereafterwards also, including my son Ashwatthama also I am not giving this. Brahmasiro Namaka Astra. Brahmastra is different, please. Brahmasiro Namaka Astra I am not giving. Why I am not giving? Because people with what is called a tendency of anger, tendency of not having Indriya Nigraha, those type of persons we are not supposed to give this Astra. This Astra used to be used very, very rarely only when your life is threatened or greater than your enemy is there in front of you. If you put on the Alpa Prani, what will happen? It destroys the world as a whole. You are not supposed to do that. That is why only I am giving this Astra. I am not giving this Astra to Ashwatthama also. So that was, there are certain rules, regulations are there. Here, what is happening is that this trigger friendly Ekalavya, what he is doing is that when an Alpa Prani is coming to approaching him towards him, he should have scared it away by putting one arrow at it. But instead of that, he wanted to put all the arrows, 7 arrows at its face and block its mouth. What is the tendency of this person? The tendency of this person is trigger friendly. It is likely that he will be doing harm to the nature or harm to the society as a whole in future. That is there. That is how Dronacharya must have anticipated. And that is what happened also earlier, subsequently. He joined the forces of Jarasandha. And Jarasandha is a Rakshasa Vamsa Gada person only. He joined there and he wanted to attack Madura. He wanted to attack Krishna. All this is also subsequently he did. We knew it. So here also, then one more thing is that the Ekalavya's background is Rakshasa Gana. Dronacharya's background is Devagana and he is a guru of Devas, Bruhaspati. Because Bruhaspati, he knew it. Because Mahabharata, each and every point will not be written down. He is a Bruhaspati Gana, he is Rakshasa Gana. That itself is sufficient to establish that Bruhaspati cannot teach to Rakshasas. That too, what is that one? Astra Vidya, Shastra Vidya. And if he is going to be given that one, okay, if it is going to be given that one more argument is that suppose a National Police Academy is there. If they begin to teach both police officials and also criminals in the same spot, what will happen? So here, I'm not calling Ekalavya a criminal. Thing is that here, Ekalavya's tendency is criminality that is there. If he start the same thing in the same academy, what will happen? And if he is coming there and claiming there, he should not give it. That is why only initial stage he refused. Initial stage he refused that you are a Nishada, I am not going to teach you. I don't want to teach you. What is a Nishada? Nishada's basic duty is to hunt. For hunting, you need not learn astras, shastras and all this is only archery, limited archery is sufficient to do the hunting work. But you need not know astras and all this is. That is why he denied education. There only he denied education. Now he got this education, that aspect I will be discussing. He got this education, somehow he got this education, and this education again claiming that Dronacharya is his guru, then naturally Dronacharya has to diminish his what is called Vidya. Otherwise, what will happen? He may be doing harm to the society and destroy the image of Dronacharya, because he is invoking the name of Dronacharya all the places. If he is not invoking the name of Dronacharya and using the name of Dronacharya, absolutely there is no issue. This also we have to understand. And the second, one more aspect is that Dronacharya has not taught Ekalavya because Ekalavya is Nishada. There are the different reasons for the Nishada. This is not the reason, because in the Nishada, because he is a Boya caste person. Boya caste person's requirement is only hunting the animals. For him, astras or shastras are not required. In those days, Varnashrama system is there, we know it. Brahmin is supposed to teach, because he is supposed to teach. Because of this reason, he should be given the knowledge. Kshatriya is the person who is going to protect the country. Because of this reason, he should know the astras and shastras. And Vaishyas should not be given, because Vaishyas are supposed to earn money and sustain the society. It is not supposed to be given. And Shudras should not be given, because it is not required for them. Vaishyas, it is not required. Shudras, it is not required. Though this Astra Shastra Abhyasa need not be given to those persons according to the Varnashrama system, that it is a moral that were prevailing at those point of time, place. Because many times we compare the morals of Mahabharata with the morals of the present day society, which we should not do it. Morals will be changing from time to time, place to place, and person to person. This we have to understand all the time. Suppose if your lady is traveling in a scooter and a motorcycle in Saudi Arabia, she will be arrested immediately, because it is not supposed to do. Because the morals of that country is like that. The morals of India is something different. Like that, shooting with a gun is morally acceptable in USA and it is not acceptable in India. There is that license is there. It's not, license is not there here. There are some morals and things that will be changing from time to time, place to place. What are the morals in 100 years back are not the morals now. What are the morals now may not be morals after some time. People will be questioning, the progeny and future generations of the people will be questioning us, that these people have done this something wrong. Have utilized the entire planet's resources and they are not, they are morally correct, like that. They may argue in after some days. The sustainability and all these concepts have come into the picture because of this reason only. So here, what we have to understand is that Dronacharya refused education to Ekalavya because of one reason. The reason is that he is not required to learn all these things. That is why he has denied it. That is one thing. And one more thing is that if he is really caste-based person and he wanted to suppress caste and all these things, he taught. Andhaka people he taught. Urishti Vamsha people he taught. Radheya also he taught. Karna also he taught. Karna why he taught? Even though he is a Suta Putra. Because Suta, who is Suta, please, the definition of Suta according to Manudharma Shastra is that a person born to a Kshatriya man and a Brahmin lady is a Suta. As simple as that. A Kshatriya man and what is called Brahmin lady. And that is a separate caste. Caste, I believe, personally, because there are so many arguments are there how caste has evolved. I personally feel that there may be Varnashrama Dharma. Because of the Sankara, what happened is that one person mixing with other person and all these things. In those days, maybe people could not identify that person, whether to put him in which place, which is the ashrama. So maybe in those days, by the time of Mahabharata itself, slowly and slowly what happened is that maybe the way of identifying a person, as yesterday I told, Manudharma Shastra, there used to be a person deciding which place he has to be placed at the age of 8 years itself. That was not, maybe in the last class or last before class I told. That system was slowly not there by the time of the period, and only birth only is going to decide the person's varna, something of that nature. The mixture of varna and caste and everything has emerged in the period of Mahabharata itself. That is the reason why sometimes a person born of this what is called Sankara Karaka, the person is designated as some varna, some caste, something of that nature. The caste system must have developed. I don't know, I am not authority over it. But anyway, what is happening is that Sutaputra also he taught, because Sutaputra, even though he was born like that and given a inferior hierarchical place, still Sutaputra is a Dvija, one more thing. And Sutaputra has the authority to become a king also. That is also their place, according to Mahabharata standards. So he can become a king also. Because Sutaputra Radheya, he can become a king. there is nothing wrong. When he becomes a king at that point of time, he may be protecting the people. He requires archery. So Dronacharya taught him. And Dronacharya is such a liberal person that he taught Astra Vidya to even to a person who is going to kill him also, that is Drushtadimya also he taught. Such a liberal person refusing education to Ekalavya, why he should do it? In Mahabharata only one sentence is written, because he is Nishada, he did not teach him. That doesn't mean that you are a Nishada, you are lower caste person. I am not. Coming later only. And at that time, there was no discussion on this subject. And one more thing we have to understand is that, and when Dronacharya did it, normally, if it is a wrong thing, and it would have been brought out or it would have been pointed out by Duryodhana or some other person in future time also. Either Bhishma could have told or some other person must have told that you have done a wrong thing and you have actually suppressed the caste people. These type of things must have told by some person. Nobody commented on this at any point of time. There is only a small discussion is there in the Mahabharata, and beyond that, no person has commented against the authority of Drona or nobody did it. And one more aspect we have to understand is that when this entire episode took place, Ekalavya was very happy, Dronacharya was also very happy, and only we are not happy. That is the only thing we have to understand. We are not happy because we are interpreting the story according to the present day morals, and we are interpreting the story in our own fashion. We are interpreting. This is one more aspect. And ultimately, one more side thing which we have to understand from this story. Not maybe this Ekalavya story be apart. So I will close it. And that is the thing is that normally, how did Ekalavya learn the art of archery? Because Ekalavya is, you believe it or not, because of interpolation of all this story and all these things. Now we are telling that either we are appreciating Drona or either we are appreciating Ekalavya. In this way, we are arguing, the arguments are going on. But still, Ekalavya as a whole, he is a very dedicated person. Lot of what is called concentrating power he was having, that we cannot denigrate. We know we are not even now also in the entire story, we are not denigrating Ekalavya. Nowhere, because we don't want to condemn Ekalavya. So Ekalavya is a great archer, great personality also. But still, because his quality was Tamoguna and he was Rakshasamsa Guna, he is ordained to do those type of things only. He fought against Krishna and all these things are there. And ultimately he was killed by Krishna also. But otherwise, Krishna, what is the concentration levels of Ekalavya? Concentration level, dhyana level of Ekalavya was supreme. What he was doing is that when he was refused by Dronacharya, that he is not going to teach him, he was not deserted. He went there, he sat on one place, put the Murti, Pratibha of Dronacharya, assumed that this is Dronacharya, and he started continuously dhyana over Dronacharya. When he was doing that dhyana, he could visualize the entire archery on his own. But here, that is why only sometimes we will be telling Vigraha Radhana in Hindu religion. Many people will be telling that Vigraha Radhana is bad. What is there in Vigraha? Nothing is it. It is a stone. People will be abusing. And what I personally feel is that Vigraha Radhana cannot be denigrated in that fashion, because ours is actually Sanatana Dharma is actually believes that we are having Nirguna Parabrahma, we are having Nirguna Parabrahma, Nirakara Parabrahma, we believe all these things. Because for our God, there is no structure, no Rupam, no color, nothing is there. It's Shuddha Buddha Chaitanya Swarupa. Like that we believe. That is the stature of our, that is how we accept. But thing is that for common people, for all the people, for understanding or comprehending the what is called completeness of the God, if you tell like that Shuddha Buddha Chaitanya Swarupa, something of that nature, maybe intellectual peoples who can visualize a God in that fashion, maybe knowing that. But normally, majority of the people, 99% of the people around us in the society are the people who can understand God only in some form, only they can understand. But that is the reason why this Vigraha Radhana has come into the picture. Otherwise, it's not required, because God is everywhere, it is there. And there's some argument will be there. Why Hindus are having so many gods? We are having one God only. People will be telling, some religions will be telling. But here also we are having one God only. One God is there, one Nirakara Parabrahma we are having, but the Nirakara Parabrahma we see everywhere. We see. We see in the tree, we see in the snake, we see in some other place, everywhere. Even in the store also. Subsequently, even if a Muslim is going to teach Sanatana Dharma, we teach him he is also an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, only will tell. And Buddha, you believe it or not, Buddha is actually, he was actually condemned Vigraharadhana and all this is. Ultimately, the Hindu religion, what it took was that he took him, they took Buddha also into their fold. But Buddha is some other Buddha, according to Mahabhagavata, this Buddha is not there. But majority of the people still feel that this Buddha is the real 10th incarnation of Vishnu. But this is wrong only. Vishnu avatars Buddha is some other Buddha, not this Gautama Buddha. But still people feel that he is a Buddha only and put his photo and statue and all these things, venerate him now. That is also there. These temples are also there. All these things are there. So here, Vigraha Radhana has some significance and importance. Only thing is that if you continuously concentrate on a Vigraha, thinking that this is the very incarnation of God, something of that nature, maybe because we have to do that, then only we have to experience it. If we don't do it and simply criticize it, there is no use of it also. Because when Vivekananda went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and he asked one question, have you seen God? He told, yes, I have seen the God. Where is the God? Can you show? Yes, I will show you. Go there and it will be there. He went inside, in the statue only, that entire Kalika Mata appeared before him and Vivekananda got impressed. He was so delighted at that particular point of time. He came out, fell on the feet of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and became the great disciple. But thing here is that Ramakrishna could see that Kalika Devi in the statue only. He saw it. He was venerating it. He was daily doing puja for that statue. He was doing it. That story we knew it. Thing is that here, if you believe in that fashion, that is why only sometimes people will be telling. And I went to certain place, Kashi, I went there, or some other place. The God is very powerful there. God is powerful. People will be telling, if God is powerful there, is he not there here? There are some, because rational people who wanted to attract the common audience, normally people play to the gallery, please. That is why only there are so many likings will be there for their YouTubes and all this is. People will become, all these things are there. Because some people will be telling that he is not there here, everywhere he is there. Everywhere he is there, everybody knows it. Thing is that if you are having that much concentration, if you go to that extent of Ekalavya, maybe you may also perceive the God in that place, like Vivekananda perceived God in that place. So Vigraha Aradhana can't be easily rejected. That is also one of the important aspects which we can understand from the Ekalavya story. And I think, and I am going to points are there. And why I told this story? Because traditional the Sanatana Dharma and Mahabharata, in that why Ekalavya story is told means because Ekalavya story is being invoked here and there everywhere, and people are telling in different ways. They are telling. Thing is that here also, when the Britishers came to India, they want to divide the society in different fashions. And in this way only this what is called BC, OBC, Aryan Dravidian. Yesterday I was telling North India, South India, like that. Here also said Brahmin versus other caste, like that. So they wanted to take this type of stories and wanted to project the story in that fashion only. Maybe most of the film people also, knowingly or unknowingly, we don't know. They have done it because film, we should not criticize films also, because film people are for the purpose of their business only, because after all it is only a business activity. For the business activity they can depict something, but thing is that for understanding the story, you see the story from the film or Doordarshan or some other place, and if you comment on this, there is no end for it. If you want to really comment on Mahabharata, go through the test of Mahabharata and then comment, then there will be some use, please. With this submission, I would like to close my discussion, and you are open for any discussions, please.
Okay, ధన్యవాదములండి. Very interesting story today. Let us now go for question answer session.
Yeah.
Anything on the chat box?
Yeah. There are a few questions. First question is, please clarify why Bhishma was silent when Draupadi was dragged into the court and insulted in front of him.
I think I have answered this question yesterday, sir. Yesterday I only answered this question. Thing is that when she was dragged to the court of Duryodhana's court or Dhritarashtra's court, whatever it may be. Bhishma kept quiet because of reason is that he was telling that the Draupadi will be asking Bhishma himself, you are an elder person, I am being disrobed here, I am being brought here, not disrobed. By the time it was, she was not disrobed, I am being brought to this place. I was caught hold of by Dushasana and I was dragged to this court. This not Anyaya, please tell the Dharma. Then he could not decide Dharma. He will be telling one thing because he wanted to evade only, because why he evaded, one thing he will be telling is that what I perceive is that here, once the Pandavas are defeated there, and it is assumed that wife is actually a property in the sense that it is a possession of husband. If husband loses something, wife also lost everything. So in that way, when Dharmaraja has put his brothers one after another, ultimately he put himself as an object, and he got defeated. When he got defeated, there is what happened is that you are also deemed that you are also defeated. You are also a property of Kauravas only. That is one aspect. So if that is the case, the game of dice should have ended at that point of time, because at the way when Dharmaraja actually got it, what is called in the play in the dice of game, he was put as an object and he was gained by what is called Duryodhana and other persons, and he becomes a Vanisa. Then there ends the game of dice. But it did not end. The game of dice did not end there. Shakuni asked the Dharmaraja again, you are having one more object, put it. He put, what is that object, he asked. Draupadi is there, put her. He put her. Why he has put her? Why he has put her? Dharmaraja alone knows. Bhishma doesn't know why he has put it. The game should have ended there, because the game should have ended when Dharmaraja was defeated. But because Dharmaraja, she is as good as the property of Dharmaraja, and when Dharmaraja is gained by Duryodhana, and she is also gained by Duryodhana, that is one way of understanding. But here what happened is that again he has put it. Because that is the reason why she is asking the question whether I got deceived after, whether when he was still a Banisa or whether he was still a king. That was the question she asked. Nannodi, Tannodina, she was asking. So this is the question here. So I could not decide Dharma here, because Dharmaraja, if he is, Dharmaraja knows Dharma, he could not have played. He could have told at that point of time that because I have become a Banisa, Draupadi is actually my property, and when I am a Banisa, when I have become a Banisa to you, that is slave to you, and she is also a slave to you, he could have told. He did not tell like that. He put her again. That was a question. That was the greatest problem here. So that is the reason why I could not answer. That is one thing. But why he evaded the entire thing? But Vidura, even though he knows all these things, he comes forward and tells what is being done is wrong only. Because he was saying the broader aspect of Dharma, he was saying. What he was telling is that it is a more flagrant violation of the rules and regulations. Because you are not supposed to catch hold of a lady and bring her to the court. It is wrong. You are not supposed to do it. He was shouting like anything at the point of time. And Vikarna coming, and he was also telling that it is wrong only. He was telling, emphatically he was telling that other issues leave it apart. Dharma we have to take into the broader perspective only, spectrum only we have to see it, and you dragging a lady to the court itself is wrong. Other aspects we don't want to discuss. That is how Vidra was telling and Vikarna was telling. But Bhishma wanted to evade that entire thing by involving himself in the intricate dharmic conversation. The dharmic conversation he was invoking, but he was not telling that bringing a lady to the court is wrong, because he was still feeling that, as I told yesterday, he was actually an employee of the Dhritarashtra's court. His duty is only to abide by Dhritarashtra's orders as Dhritarashtra court, whatever that is happening. But he is not supposed to violate the rules and regulations, because he has also given a promise to his father that he is going to be a loyal servant to the throne of Hastinapura. Like that, he has given the promise. When he has given that promise, he was still thinking that he should not want to violate it. That is the reason why he cannot tell. He cannot tell in the open court that because I have given a promise to my father and all these things he did not want to tell. What he wanted to tell is that he wanted to evade the entire issue by invoking this dharmic principle, because here two aspects of dharma are there. One is that if dharma game of days should have ended at the stage of Dharmaraja's defeat, but Dharmaraja put you also again, which means that you are not a Banisa, you are not the property of Banisa at that point of time. So when he what, how can I tell the dharma? This can be told only by Dharmaraja, that he threw the entire what is called ball into the court of Dharmaraja and kept quiet. This is how it happened.
Okay.
That is the reason why he did not do it. That is the reason why people tell that in Mahabharata that is not written down, of course, but because the Bhishma suffered like anything for so many days on the arrow bed, because he was Ampashaya is there. No, he was made to suffer like that because he made these mistakes.
Okay.
That is there, please.
Okay. The other question is, when there was an option to change Varna as done by Parashurama and Vishwamitra, why the same principle was not adopted to Karna and Ekalavya for imparting archery by Drona and Parashurama in the first instance? And the second question is, why combat did not take place?
Sir, my concentration levels are very much less. So first question I will answer, second question afterwards, sir. Please tell me the first question first, sir.
Okay. When there was an option to change Varna as done by Parashurama and Vishwamitra, why the same principle was not adopted to Karna and Ekalavya for imparting archery by Drona and Parashurama in the first instance?
Sir, Parashurama remained as a Kshatriya only, sir. He never claimed to become a Brahmin at any point of time, no? Because he remained as a Kshatriya only. He was a Kshatriya person only. He remained to be like that only. He never claimed to become a Brahmin. That is also there. And one more thing is that their Brahmins, there are certain qualities are prescribed, sir. The qualities are Arjava. Arjavatva means seeing goodness in every person. That is one thing is there. Second thing is that he should have Shama, Dhamma, Indriya, Nigraha, and all these things should be there. If that is there, and he should not have any anger at any point of time. If he is an angry person, he is not a Brahmin. That is the very definition of Brahmin. Brahmin is actually, he is supposed to do like that. He should not crave for any kingdom and all these things. His basic duties are Adhyayanam, Adhyapanam, Yajanam, and Yajanam. These type of things only he is supposed to do. But take into the aspect of Karna, if you take Karna into consideration, there are no quality of Brahmin quality is there in Karna, or Kshatriya quality is also not there. He is more of Tamoguna and less of Rajoguna. That is also there. Tamoguna, why Karna? Tamoguna, he discussed Ekalavya. Ekalavya, he is not, even though he is a warrior caste person, warrior by birth, by what is called like Radhe also. Though he is a Kshatriya, problem here is that the way he was brought up was by Nishada, he was brought up, and his tendency is also Nishada tendency only. If you see an animal, you put an arch, you aim an arrow and kill it. Like that here also, when a dog came, he put 7 arrows instead of 1 arrow. He could have hissed at the dog and he could have sent it out. Instead of that, what he did, Alpa Prani, he put a great thing. Similarly, Karna, if you take into consideration, Arjuna, if you take into consideration, what happened is that in Mahabharata war was going on. When Karna was actually that 1.5 day only, he was there as a Senadipati of Kurukshetra war, Karna. In that war, and that day, what he did, no, he put his what is called some astra. What is that astra? Parashurama astra. Parashurama astra. What is that astra? Not Parashurama has given one astra to him. That astra is a deadly astra. I don't remember that astra immediately, but Parashurama has given that astra. That astra he has put it on the common soldiers, killing lakhs and lakhs of people were killed on the single day. When he comes and claims that whatever number of people were killed by Bhishma's 10 days, I have killed in 1 day only. But here the question is that, Arjuna knew Pashupatastra, he knew Brahmashira Namakastra, he knew, but he did never use those astras for the common people. Because Indriya Nigraha, Daman, Shama, all these things should be there. If you want to kill Alpa Prani, you should use Alpa Astra only. That is the rules and regulations of the game. Just because you knew some great astra, That astra should not be used for the destruction of the common people. That is what Karna has done at that particular stage of time. That is a tendency of Karna is like that. Tendency of Karna we can come across many stages of life. Yesterday also I was telling, thing is that when Draupadi was brought to the court, dragged by Dushasana at that point of time, nobody was thinking that she is a slave to Duryodhana. And because a slave can be disrobed, whatever can be done, nobody was knowing all this is Karna only instigated. He called Dushasana and you disrobe her. Because she is our Dasi. Dasi will not be having any what is called etiquette and all this is, we should not see the good etiquette, all this is, it will not be applying to the Dasi people, it will not be applying. But disrobe her, no problem in the court. And that is how he asks. And one more thing is that in their Astra Vidyabhyasa is going on. Astra Vidyabhyasa went on for Pandavas and Kauravas. 2 episodes only I am telling. Many such things are there in Mahabharata. One more thing, the tendency of Karna I am telling. When this Guru, the Vidyabhyasa was over, at that time, Dronacharya wanted to show the skill of Pandavas and Kauravas in the presence of Dhritarashtra Maharaja and also Bhishma, all other elder people. So he asked Bhishma, kindly arrange one function wherein I wanted to show the archery skills of my Sishyas. He was very happy because he wanted to know how they have learned. It was arranged. We know that story. Bhima, Duryodhana, Gada Yuddha happened first. Then afterwards Arjuna came there. He displayed his archery in such a fashion that nobody could do anything. And then it went on like that. It went on like that. Drona was very happy and he told, among my Sishyas. So all the time these wordings are there in Mahabharata. Please, among my Sishyas, he is the greatest one. Nobody can defeat him like that. By the time what happened is that Karna enters there and he challenged the authority of Arjuna. I am there. And what is, you have to understand one thing. Suppose what we have to understand is that the particular thing has been arranged for displaying the talents of Kauravas and Pandavas. It is not arranged for the purpose of showing the talents of any other person. And Dronacharya is also not asking that in the world as a whole, there is Danavir Surakarna, he will be telling. In the world as a whole, there is no person comparable to Arjuna. Nowhere it is there, based on Mahabharata. He was telling that among my Shishyas, he is the greatest person, he will be telling. Arjuna, Karna comes on his own and he was challenging the authority of Arjuna. I also can show you. And also he challenges that in the presence of Drona himself, I can cut off the head of Arjuna. These words are also there in Mahabharata. What is this tendency of Karna? Who invited Karna there? Nobody has invited Karna. Karna can sit in the gallery only, seeing what is happening here. This archery, this Astra Vidya Pradarshana is meant for the purpose of Kurus and Pandavas only. He was never invited there. He came there as an audience, he came there. From the audience, he can't come and challenge Rajaputra there. This is Astra Vidya Pradarshana is only for the Rajaputras only there on that day. Rajaputras and then the two who were taught by the Dronacharya, the Pandavas and Kauravas particularly, it is specifically mentioned for the purpose of Pandavas and Kauravas of Astra Vidya Pradarshana. That was the heading. Why he should enter there? He entered there and he wanted to fight Arjuna. He wanted to cut off the head of the Arjuna in the presence of the Dronacharya only. That was the audacity that displayed by Karna. And immediately what happened was that at that particular point time when the Duryodhana was not having any other person equal to the match of Arjuna, and he immediately embraced Karna, come here, like that. All the Kauravas were forming a big queue behind Karna, and all other people went behind Arjuna, and the division of this entire thing happened on the very particular moment only place that we have to see. The division of Pandavas and Kauravas as a two entities happened only at the entry of Karna only, who was never invited at this particular spot. Which means that, and here somebody is putting, Karna was a son of Surya. Yes, but so it was not known to other persons at the time. That was there, no? He was not known. He was not known to other persons that he was a son of Surya. He was a son of Surya and other persons were only Kunti could recognize it at that particular point of time. Even at the end of Mahabharata, Narada was telling that this fact was known to Bhishma, it was known, Dhritarashtra, it was known, Like that, it tells. Dhritarashtra also was also knowing at what point of time he knew that Karna was the son of Surya, that we don't know. But Bhishma was not knowing that. Bhishma was not knowing. Bhishma was knowing it from Narada. Like that, the episode goes in the end only. After the death of Karna only we come across all these things. But when he was alive and when he was behaving as a Sutaputra, Karna was knowing it, Bhishma was knowing it, Dhritarashtra was knowing it. At what point of time Dhritarashtra and Bhishma were not knowing it, we don't know. This is the thing. When he came to that particular spot, he was not Suryaputra at that time. He was actually a Sutaputra only. That is how we have to understand, please.
Okay.
So this type of person, how can they claim Brahmanatva or Kshatriyatva or whatever it may be? They can't claim it. For that, some different qualities are there. The different qualities are not being displayed. Most of Tamoguna is being displayed here, please. And dragging a lady to the court and challenging what we are doing, all these activities, actually what we can call it is a Tamoguna to the fullest form. That is also there. Tamoguna is not a small one, not small Tamoguna. Murti Bhava Tamoguna is there in Karna and Murti Bhava Tamoguna is there in Ekalavya. Then how can they claim to the higher Varnas? They can't claim it. They can't, they did not claim and nobody has given also.
Okay. I think Babu Garu, we can have the other questions after the Prardhana. There are a lot of people wanting to ask.
Let us.
Sir, one thing, my submission is that this episode, no sir, it will invoke a lot of questions normally. It will not end even by 8:30 also. Maybe it will be useful for other persons also. Tomorrow we can take it up. That would be better, sir.
Okay.
Because it will be helpful for all the persons also, if at all it is useful. Otherwise, because if we close it unrecorded, what will happen? Maybe may not be useful for many persons.
Exactly.
That may be
I agree with you.
One point is that one person wants to say that is it Bhargava Astra?
Yes, sir. Bhargavastra. Yes, sir. I did not remember it immediately.
Right.
Bhargavastra. You put Bhargavastra to destroy so many soldiers.
Okay.
And Arjuna never used those type of astras. That is the reason why Brahmasiro Namakastra was given to Arjuna alone and no other person, including Ashwatthama. Because the person should have the Shama, Dhamma, Indriya, Nigraha, and all these things, he should have it.
Right.
That Arjuna was having all those qualities, and that was will be displayed in the Urvasi episode. We come across that one. Right. Tomorrow, if possible, Urvasi episode only we can discuss. Sir. That is some other episode. Okay, sir, no problem.
Babu Garu, over to you.
Okay. So now, remaining questions, please make a note of it and then keep it with you. Tomorrow, definitely we will address all of them. Now we will go for Prardhana. Pantul Garu, please. Please chant Prardhana, please.
Alayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisa Go Brahmanebhya Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Parshatu Pajjanyaha Prudivi Sasyashalini Desoyam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Aputra Putrinas Santu Putrinas Santu Pautrinaha Adhana Sadana Santu Jivantu Sharadam Satam Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara Swadhyayan Ma Pramadaha Matrudevo Bhava Pitrudevo Bhava Acharya Devo Bhava Atithi Devo Bhava Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhavag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Purnamadah Purnamidau Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु। हरि ओम। श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। स्वस्ति.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Now let us recite national anthem. Challa Chittibabu garu.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जय हिंद।
జై హింద్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.